get everything going. So blogging for realtors, getting married to WordPress. I don't know if any of you know out there already, but blogging and WordPress are basically the same thing. WordPress is your website, so I hear a lot from realtors. Should I have a website and still have a blog? Yes, you can. No, you don't have to. You know, if you can market both properly, then go ahead and do it. But even myself, running a blog alone is enough work. You don't need to necessarily have both your traditional website and your blog. WordPress is just like a regular website. It has all the functionality of a regular website with even more benefits, and it has the full functionality of a blog, so you can start creating your own community where people can, you know, engage with your content at a much better level than what they could with your regular website. Because what's the only way that they can contact you? They can call you, they can fill out a contact form, or they can email you direct, and that's pretty much about it. There is no way for them to really give input directly to the blog itself or to your website itself. That's why a lot of the real estate agents out there and a lot of bigger companies are going towards a blog, because they want to have customer feedback, customer reviews live on their website, not just something that the company basically took a screenshot of or reproduced themselves and put on the site. You know, it's coming from you know, a Facebook or a Twitter account, and it has more weight to it than what companies can put out themselves. Okay, so the whole idea behind this is getting a community basically involved with your site, and being able to promote it through other people, not just yourself. Okay, think of this as more as your referral on your website, because other people that have bought a home or sold a home with you will be able to push your product much better than you can push it yourself. Okay, that's just the facts of the business. Today's agenda, we're going to be going over just the basics of WordPress, where to get started, how to set it up, how to create your blog post or your pages. I'll distinguish what a post and what a page is later on, but they're almost identical. Just some minor little tweaks with the way that they show on the website, but they basically are the same thing. Before we get started, does anyone out there already have a current WordPress site set up on their own, either through WordPress.com or if they have their own privately hosted blog through WordPress like myself? Do you have your own already? You have your own already? All right, anyone on the webinar? Let me just scoot this over real quick. Yes, many. All right, perfect. So you guys kind of already know what I'm talking about then. Oops, wrong screen. So if you guys already have it hosted out there, I have mine hosted right now as GoDaddy, which I think is going to be talking about next. Where to get started? Seems simple enough, but will have a huge impact on how your site performs. What you're really looking for is a hosting company that is cheap, but also has great site speed and large amount of hosting space. I started off with GoDaddy. I'm actually going to be transferring everything over to HostGator, just because my site speed has, the more traffic that I've been able to get to my site, the slower my site gets, and it's, you know, taking anywhere between 7 to 10 seconds to load. So when you first start off, if you already have it with GoDaddy, keep it there. It's fine. But in the future, or already right now, plan on backing it up and transferring it over to a HostGator account. They're actually even cheaper. They give you unlimited disk space versus GoDaddy, I think, is only 10 gigabytes of space. So they actually have more benefits, and it is a little bit cheaper as well. So if you haven't gotten started yet, make sure to check out HostGator first. That's going to be your best bet when it comes to hosting. Because you're going to be on a shared plan, you're not going to have your own private dedicated server. It'd just be way too costly to do that unless you had, you know, 50,000 visitors a day on your site, and then you'd have to do something like that. But just to start off, you know, you're probably going to average maybe 1,000 to 2,000 visitors a month, and that's not bad. Okay, that's my average right now is probably about 2,000 visitors a month. It'll take you time to get up to those numbers, but that's what you can expect after a little bit of time of working your WordPress site. Okay. So if you have any questions about this, go ahead and throw them in the Q&A panel or in the chat box. That way I can address those as well. If you choose any other company available, please make sure to ask for a WordPress hosting account. This way they automatically set up your server for WordPress. Okay, so if you call GoDaddy or you call HostGator, they'll automatically pretty much set everything up for you. You just say, hey, you know what, I need you to set up a server account that's built for WordPress, and they'll go ahead and get it going for you. It'll take anywhere between 24 to 48 hours to have your server basically set up for WordPress, but you don't have to do any of the labor-intensive work of setting it up yourself. They'll automatically go ahead and do that for you. Okay, and most companies should be able to do that, since WordPress is a very widely used website platform to build on. Okay. Setting up the framework. This is basically your theme. Once you start getting into WordPress, you'll recognize these little keywords a little bit better. But the framework of your site is basically the way it's going to look. The layout of it is your theme. Okay, and there are multiple different themes out there. There are thousands. There's free ones. There's paid ones. There's super expensive ones. Pick the one that's best for you. I'm going to talk about one that I use, which is the best for search engines. That has the most flexibility. It's probably the easiest to use out there, and it doesn't have too many. I actually haven't run into any complications with other plugins that we'll talk about a little bit later on. That's usually a big issue with these themes, is that they have conflicts with other applications on your website. Okay. Another simple and easy way with many choices to choose from. I currently and always have used Thesis. I've used Thesis now for the past, I'm going to say 2 to 3 years. It really is the best thing that's out there. It's pretty cheap. So check it out. If you want to go to it directly, take this note down. It's DIYthemes.com. You can buy a single license, I believe, for $87, which I have the pricing actually right here. Yeah, personal option, you basically can have it for one website, is $87. Or if you decide, like Fernando, to go off and start building multiple websites, you're going to want to do the developer option. It's a little bit more, but you can install Thesis on multiple different sites. Okay, so for most of us, we're only going to have one website, just because it's labor-intensive enough to push one website, and you can create splash pages and things like that within your website. That's another class, a little bit more advanced, but you can do everything with just your one website. Okay, unless you're selling, real estate on another. You have an insurance license, then you're going to want a separate website. But if everything's going to be real estate, you can funnel it all into this one website. Okay. Another big reason for that too is if the way Google will look at it is if you can drive 100,000 visitors, say, per month to your website, versus having 2 at 50,000 a month. You're going to get better results from the one with 100,000 visitors per month than you will with 2 at 50,000 visitors a month. Okay, so just always think about things, front end, back end, before you actually go out there and do it. That's why I've done it this way, putting everything into one, because Google eventually will start seeing all my traffic that way, and they'll rank me higher because I have more traffic. Okay. Why Thesis? I've already said it, but it is possibly the best framework that's out there. It is the easiest to use. It has the most flexibility. And an easy way to think about this is Thesis is basically the contractor for your home. Whatever you say for Thesis to do, he's going to do it with no lip and get the job done. And it also works incredibly well with Google. Okay, some themes, they make things where it's hard to navigate through your website, and Thesis does a nice job of making it very easy for Google and other websites as well to come in and read all the information that's being published on your website. Okay, so it works extremely well with Google. We just picked up a couple of questions here on the Q&A, I believe. Lynn, okay, the theme, I'll put it back on the screen. Hang on one second here, and you can only see the first screen. Okay, you should be able to see it. Can you guys only see the slide one still, or if I click on a slide, can you still see it? Right now I'm on the 5th slide. Can you guys see the 5th slide? Only the first page. Okay, let's see here. Okay, hang on 1 second. Sharing. Can you guys see it now? No, still no. Okay. Okay, guys. I'm going to temporarily disconnect from the webinar. I'm going to reconnect right now. Your link should still work. So just give me a second. I'm going to reboot the system to make sure that the monitor starts sharing correctly. Okay, how does that? Can you guys now see everything correctly on the screen? Oops, dang it. Let's minimize that. All right, can you guys see everything on the screen now correctly? Let me switch over to the keynote presentation. Yes, yes. All right, everyone looks good. Just want to make sure before we keep going. I'm going to put on the keynote again since we're having issues with that one. Can you guys see this page, slide 5 on there? It works? Okay. All right. Thanks, guys, for letting me know before we got too far into it. So, Lena, this is the website that you're going to want to go to. It's DIYthemes.com. They're the ones that are going to have the thesis theme available for you to purchase and install on your WordPress account. Okay? Okay, perfect. And slide this over. Okay, so those are the different options. Those are the different pricing options that they have available. Like I said, the developer option is if you're going to be developing multiple websites, and the personal option is just for a single website. And even myself, I only have one website, and the reason being is because you want to funnel all your traffic into one website. It's going to look a lot better for Google's eyes to see all the traffic hitting one website, and you'll be able to target multiple categories as well, okay, instead of trying to branch it all off into separate pages. Okay, so why thesis, I already explained a little bit about that. And now we're done buying. It's time to put it all to work. So what you're going to do after you already go to GoDaddy or HostGator and they'll set up your WordPress hosting for you, you're simply going to go to yourdomain.com/WP-admin. Now you can also find this link at the bottom right of your website, but this is an easy way to do it. You just type it into the URL, okay, simply up on top. Type that in. It'll take you right to your login screen, okay? Everyone good with this so far? So to make sure no one's being left behind. So after you log in, this is going to be what your dashboard pretty much looks like. Okay, and I already have mine set up with a bunch of different things, so pay no attention to the left side and how it looks. But as we get going, the left side will fill up really quickly with a lot of these different plugins and different basically add-ons. And you can think of plugins as your apps. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is we just got our hosting account and set it for WordPress. We logged in. We're in the dashboard. Now we need to install Thesis into it. Okay. So just like installing a program on your desktop, there's a place to do it. It's very easy to do it. It's not hard. Okay. So I put it here with the 2 arrows. When you first log in, you'll see Appearance. Okay. You just hover over it. A little pop-up menu will go to the right. It'll say Themes, and you're going to want to click on Themes. Okay. Everyone good with that part? After you click on that, very easy. Install Themes, pretty self-explanatory, right? Just go ahead and click on Install Themes. Next page that'll pop up, it'll say upload. Now you can go through with the search right now that it's defaulted to. You can actually search WordPress for different available themes that are out there. Like I said, many of them are free. If you don't want to pay the $90 to get started with Thesis, you can try all the free ones. It's just that Thesis is going to be your best option long range down the road and with the most flexibility, especially with certain plugins that we'll talk about in a minute. Some of these have conflicts and they won't allow it to work properly. Okay, Thesis is built to allow for the most flexibility. It's basically a universal remote that can control everything. Okay, so after you purchase it, you'll have that basically what's called a .zip file from DIY Themes. You'll click on Upload. It'll give you to a new screen. You click Choose File. So pretty easily, you choose a file. You're going to select that .zip format, which it says right here. Okay, it'll populate in there, and you click on Install Now. Very easy. It'll take your website maybe 5 seconds to install it. It's going to be very quick. Okay. Everyone go with that? Don't want to leave anyone behind. I'll check the Q&A. Let me delete these. I keep looking over and keep seeing a no, so I just want to make sure everyone stays aboard here. Okay, so now we got WordPress going. We have our Rockin' Thesis framework installed, so now we basically have to go and start controlling how it's going to look, the look and feel of our website. That's going to be your next step. Okay. So there's two areas. One is called Design Options, and the other is called Site Options. Okay, and I'll explain in full detail exactly what the differences are between these two. But I'm sure you're going to guess Design Options is how the design of your website is going to be, and your Site Options is a little more back end, but it's going to be controlling basically your pages and your categories, the way these things are displayed on your website. Okay. So you're still on your dashboard. After you install Thesis, you'll have a little tab on the left-hand side called Thesis. Click on it, and then you'll get a little drop-down menu. One is going to be Site Options. The next will be Design Options, and so on. The first thing we want to start off with, because this is really the look and feel of your website, is you're going to want to click on Design Options. Okay? And then right here, after you click on it, it'll say Thesis Design Options. There's going to be a little plus box right there. And you're going to want to click on that. And you can see now where it says columns, column order, HTML framework, blah, blah, blah. They're all hidden. It's hiding all the information right now. So once you click on that, it's going to expand all these boxes so you can see all the different options you get to choose from. Okay? So in case you're wondering, you get stuck later on and you're trying to figure out how to open them all up, it's right there up on top. Just click it as soon as you go and start editing all this type of information. Okay? So this is just one part of it. So your site layout is probably going to be your most important. It's going to be the biggest part of how your site's going to look. You can design a couple of different ways. You can do a single column, you can do 2 columns, and you can do 3 columns. Okay? But only one column is going to be your content. Okay? That's where your posts are going to be. That's going to be where the blogging stuff is going to be taking place. Okay? So if you talk about a new listing you have for sale, you can blog about it. That's where it's going to show. And down here, it shows you how it's going to look. Okay? So most websites that are out there, they only have 2 columns. Okay? One for content and another one, what's called a sidebar. That's where some of your little different widgets and some of the tools for your website can be used by your users. Okay? So it's nice to have them side by side. Okay? Left side content, right side tools. Okay? So you can have like a mortgage calculator, an interest rate plugin where they can see what the interest rates are, a sign-up form for your mailer, for your email campaign. That's where you're going to put some of those tools. The left side will be content. Or you can flip-flop it, but right now the industry standard is content on the left-hand side. Your tools, your widgets are going to be on the right-hand side. Okay. Now, 3 columns, I typically don't do that. I've never really done it. It just makes it look too busy. Another reason why is you're going to make your site too large. Okay. As you can see on my pixel widths, you might want to write these down. This is probably your best size of a website that you can build. Your content column is 600 pixels wide. Okay. And my sidebar column is 400 pixels wide. So my entire site, just content alone, not including my background, is going to be 1,000 pixels wide. Okay, that's a pretty large website. Okay, and the reason you want to pay attention to how these numbers play effect is because if they have a smaller size screen, you don't want them to scroll left to right to view all the information on your website. I'm sure you've been to websites like that, and it doesn't look pretty. Okay, when they hit your website, the only scrolling they should be doing is up and down. Okay, not left to right. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to assume that was a yes. Fonts, colors, and more. Now you can change the font of your website. So if you change it here in design options, it's going to change it throughout your website. Okay, and now you're going to see later on as we go to make a post, it's not going to really type in that font, but once it's displayed on your website, it will show in the correct font. Okay, so my popular one, the way I like it, is Century Gothic. I think it looks the cleanest. Very, very easy to read. That's the type of font you want. It's a very clean and easy to read font. You also want it a little bit on the large side for people that can't read fully. You want it a little bit larger so it's easier to read. Okay. Other good fonts that are out there is Arial, Times New Roman, Courier is another decent one. So there's a bunch of different fonts out there. This is more of a look and feel, but just make sure that the font that you choose is legible. You know, you probably don't want to choose like what is it, Diplomacy, or that one looks like handwriting or anything like that. You want it to be easy to read. Okay. Next is going to be your site background color, page background color, your primary text color, and your primary link color. Most of these settings are already defaulted for you, but you can change them. Okay, and it's very easy to do that. You're not going to be able to see it because I took a screenshot of it on here, but all you'll simply do is click on the little color box right there. One of those hexagraphs, is that what they're called? A hex chart, I believe is what it's called, and it'll have a bunch of different squares with colors. You just got to pick the color, and it'll select the number for you. Okay, so it's very easy to do that. With colors, you want to be careful. You want to keep the focus on your content, and if you have a really bright color in the background, you can't really focus too well on what you're saying because the background is just far too bright. Okay, so pick more neutral colors. Pick bright colors where you want there to be focus, and focus is not to be in the background. Okay, focus is to be on your content. Okay, so any bright colors you're going to be probably using for arrows, pointing to a sign-up form, you know, other bright colors on your sign-up button, things like that is where you want to have those bright colors to draw the attention to. Okay, you don't want to have it just plastered all over your website. Okay, these, if they don't come defaulted, you're going to want to default it this way. So post images and thumbnails, you want it left with text wrap. This means the picture is going to be formatted to the left-hand side, and the text will flow around it. Okay, so it'll be in a nice format. It's not going to look all blocky. It'll look nice and uniform. It'll make it look like a real professional type website. Your vertical position, it'll be above the headline. You'll have these both checked just like that, and then your thumbnail settings will be left with text wrap as well. Okay. Like I said, most of these settings right here should be automatically defaulted by Thesis, but if not, you're going to want to make sure to change them this way. You can change it a different way, but this is like the industry standard, is a left with a text wrap. Okay, and it makes it a little bit easier to read that way as well. Okay. On to the next slide. You're going to want to have Thesis defaulted still to page framework. Full width framework makes it just a little bit larger, and you're going to want to stick it to the page framework. Your outer padding, this is basically spacing, and I've found through a lot of trial and error that your 0.5 page padding is going to make it look the best. So this is basically your spacing around posts, around articles, around widgets, around everything. You want to have this little bit of spacing so it doesn't seem like everything's smushed together. Okay, you want it to look correct, and that's probably going to be your sweet spot number. Okay, now every website will be different, but that's I've tested it for the past few years, and that's what I keep coming back to, is the 0.5. Okay, display options. These should automatically be defaulted. If not, go ahead and write those down as well. But these automatically, I don't believe I've changed any of these, and they all appear to be the correct way that you want them displayed. Okay. Your content area, like I said, you want the font in a larger size. So I have the font in size 14 point. Okay, that's pretty large, but it makes it easy to read. People don't have to zoom in. They don't have to smash their face against the screen to see what you're trying to type or see what you have written. It's right there and easy to see. Your navigation menu, this is the links up on top of the page. Okay, you're going to leave it inherited from body. Okay, and your font size on this is going to vary. I had it larger, but because I keep adding pages to it, I had to make the font size smaller to make the tabs flush with the width of my website. And you'll see this problem as you start building your website and you start building a lot of pages and things like that, that you'll eventually run out of room across, and Thesis automatically will default to drop that navigation menu below the navigation menu. So you'll have like two rows of navigation menus, which I did not want, and I opted to change the font size on it to make it a little bit smaller so it all fit flush on one row. I think you would all agree that that's probably the way to do it as well. Okay. Now your colors here that you can see, this is really going to depend on the way you build your site. Okay, but your link text color, if there's a link, when it's going to appear to be that color in my navigation menu. The link text hover color, okay, so you guessed it. When they hover over the tab, it's going to turn black. So you want these colors to be different so that when they hover over the item, they know that it's a clickable link. Okay, it makes it much easier for the user to identify, hey, if I click on this, it's going to take me somewhere else. Okay, when links don't turn blue or turn to a different color, do some type of animation, most users won't figure out that it can actually go to a different page. They think it's just there like a picture almost. Okay, so make sure that these things do change color. Okay, and like I said, all you're going to have to do is click on this. You'll be able to click the color box and click the color that you want. And play with it back and forth. I mean, you're the one that's ultimately designing your website. And the way I did it was I try to choose our, the Excellence Real Estate colors are gold and black. So I wanted my website to look gold and black. So that's the reason I chose that. So if you're with Prudential or Remax, you're probably going to choose blue and white or red and white, something along those lines. Keller Williams, another heavy red website. Century 21, same colors as mine, black and gold. So choose whatever colors you want, but it's like I said, it's going to be your look and feel of the website. Okay. Also, these settings down here, your navigation border, pixel width, I would leave it to 1. You don't want to make the width border around your navigation menus really thick. You want to keep it very small, just enough to help let them distinguish that there is a break, and between home buyer and home seller are two different categories, two different pages. Okay. Your navigation border color, you want it, like I said, to be neutral. White, I think it doesn't look the best. I try to choose gray. It makes it look a little bit nicer. That way it doesn't just go flush with the background page color. It'll make it look a little more distinguished. Your sub-navigation menu width, okay. As you make pages, eventually you'll be making drop-down menus for those pages. Okay, so you'll click on Home Buyer, and under your Home Buyer page, you'll have home loan qualifying, first-time buyers. You'll have these different drop-down menus, okay? And the pixel width for these is going to determine how wide it goes, okay? 250 right now, I have found that to be the sweet spot, that it works the best, so that the content that you're writing in, or the label that it has, doesn't keep going down. It goes across one way, and it still doesn't look too large, where it look a little bit annoying. It's going to look pretty nice on your website. Okay. Like I said, these options right here on the right-hand side, they're automatically going to be defaulted. I know those ones for a fact, so you're not going to have to worry about those. So if you have any questions, go ahead and keep posting it in the Q&A or the chat box. Don't want to leave anyone behind. And I'm going to go on to the next slide now. Like I said, display options are going to have a lot. Okay, so post, you're going to put it to display full post content. And the reason you want to do that is you want to have all the content available on the front page of your website, so that Google, when they go to your website, or Yahoo or Bing, they don't have to go through your links in your website to find more content. It's all right there in the front. Okay, that's what you want. You want it to be very easy for Google and for your users to find content on your website. The header and the headlines, all of these are automatically defaulted. The colors probably will not be. So you're going to want to change these colors to suit your theme, okay? But these numbers are automatically going to be defaulted, okay? This right here, this little text is automatically also going to be defaulted. Your archives, it's going to be same as your home page, so leave it like that. Comments, if comments are closed, display a message. That will also automatically be defaulted. So the rest of this stuff right here actually will all be defaulted to the way that you're going to want to have it. All these as well will automatically be defaulted. Another one, which you can't see it right here, but there's also a thing called a multimedia box. And if you visit my website, it's basically on the top right-hand side, you'll see a video right now of the Relay for Life. And this is where you're going to want to put it. So you'll select the box in your design options. It'll say multimedia box. And you can have it to embed a video. You can have it to embed a picture, a slideshow, whatever you want. You can put whatever you want in there, but I have it to embed a video. And then you're going to put the code. So the code that you're going to put obviously will probably be from YouTube. It automatically gives you the code. And it's very easy to do this. You automatically set up that sidebar width to be 400 pixels wide. So when you go to YouTube, you're going to put the video width to be 400 pixels, and it'll automatically create the code for you. You just copy and paste it in there. Yeah, it'll be very simple for you to do that. Okay? And once you do this, it'll automatically publish to all the pages of your website. Now, in the next class that we'll do on WordPress, I'll show you how you can change it per page. But just for now, this is going to be more of a generic thing that you can have it go to all the pages of your website. Okay? Now your feature box, I don't use that. You probably won't either, but if you do want to use it, there is an option. It'll basically be where your video is right here on the multimedia box. It'll take that position. Any questions? I feel like I'm moving pretty fast through this stuff. These are all automatically going to be defaulted again. You might just have to change the color to suit your theme. All these will automatically default it as well to the correct sizes. I believe that's it. I think we're moving on to the site options now. Okay, so any questions about design options, go ahead and raise your hand in the live class. Anyone in here? Still seems like you're trying to learn a foreign language. Any questions on the webinar? I'm just going to take a quick break so that you guys can answer any of those. I know I moved through that stuff pretty quickly. Site options won't be so tough, but if you have any questions, go ahead and let them be known now before I move on to the next part. All right, I think everyone's good. Moving on to site options. Like I said, this is primarily going to be for your pages and for your categories of your website. Okay, so the way you access this is thesis again. Click on thesis. It'll drop-down menu will happen. Site options will be there. Click on that. Once again, you're going to click on the plus sign to expand all your options. Okay. Oh, there's the question. Okay, the question is, what is your web address for WordPress? My web address is excellenceduo.com. That's spelled, actually, you know what? I'll just jump over to it real quick if you guys don't mind so you guys can see it. This is the website right here. Okay. So this is my navigation menus up on top. See the drop-down menus? This is the 250 pixel width right here. So you can see it looks really nice and uniform. Even though it has a drop-down, it doesn't look that bad. Okay. It looks really nice and flush. The biggest thing is you don't want these menu tabs to go over really large because it's just going to be too big. And some of them, like short sales, will be really small. You don't want a bunch of black space. Okay, you want to keep it as tight-knit as possible on these navigation menus to give you a little bit better of a look. Let me jump back over to here. So Excellence Duo up on top. Let's highlight it real quick. So if in case you guys want to write it down, you can refer back to my website. This is how it's going to look. This is the content area right here. This is 600 pixels wide. This is the sidebar menu. This is 400 pixels wide. So my multimedia box that I was just talking about, this is it right here. And then these are your plugins, like I was talking about your tools. We're going to get to that in a second. But here's my sign-up form. Here's a mortgage loan calculation tool. Here's some social media with Yelp. Here's some information, a plugin that tracks how people are finding my site through Google. Okay, these are the search terms they're typing in that are being found on my website. Here's us on Facebook. So there's a couple of different options that you guys can put on here to allow for your users to engage better with your content. And like I was talking about earlier, if you don't access it up here, you can always scroll to the bottom right of your page to access the administration panel for your website. And then if I click on it, I'm already signed in, I believe, but it would take you to another little screen and have a little box, and it would tell you to sign in, basically. Oh, there it is. So this is what it will look like. Okay, right there. Your username and your password, and you'll just log in, and then you'll go to your admin side. I'll do that for you real quick so you can kind of see how it works. Okay, so this is the dashboard, okay, after you log in. Okay, and it's all through your website. You're not going to be doing anything anymore through GoDaddy or HostGator, really. It's going to all be pretty much primarily right here. Okay. Lena Sarkinson, yes, you can put IDX for property search. The best one I have found, if you do want it, is I don't talk about it too much. It's called Diverse Solution. Diverse Solution gives you.
Yeah, I went and had to.
Whoever's on the webinar, can you maybe mute your phone real quick? We can hear you on the other end. Sorry. Selena, yeah, the best company out there where it gives you access to being able to have these properties found by Google as well is called Diverse Solutions. The web address is diversesolutions.com. What they will do, I'll just talk about it really quickly, is they will give you a plugin right here on the right-hand side that allows them to search for properties. Now, it doesn't look the best, but that plugin works well with being able to be found in search engines. So you have to use that one. Unfortunately, it's not the best user-friendly, but Google-friendly it is. And now they have a really nice one. This is actually the search plugin provided by our MLS, which is free, which I recommend everyone doing because it is free, provided by the MLS. The one by Diverse Solutions, this will actually cost you an extra $50 to have it, but it doesn't give you any flexibility with Google. So you want this one, yes, for your users to be able to use because they like to be able to look at it on the map. It just looks a lot better than having a little plugin that searches for properties and that's it. I believe most users want to be able to see properties on the map, where they're located, to help them get a better understanding of the area when they're trying to buy a home, because most buyers out there are looking for a property based on a certain area. Okay, they want in between these streets, these streets. They want to make sure it's in between those or whatever the case may be. And this just looks a lot better than a little plugin that says, you know, what city, what zip code, beds, bath, price. Okay, this looks a lot better for your users. And to do both of them through Diverse Solutions would cost you about $100 a month. And me personally, I can have much better use of $100 a month myself and spend it more on like a CRM, like a client management system, versus spending it just on a property search program for my users. Okay, so hopefully that answered your question. Rafe, are you using Diverse Solutions already, or are you talking about the website? I found if you're talking about the website speed will be based on how much content and pictures you have on the website. So the biggest way to avoid site speed being slow is do not host your own videos. Host your videos through YouTube and use YouTube's bandwidth. The IDX I just had up. With the MLS, it does vary. It doesn't seem like they have their own dedicated server for it. So right now it actually worked pretty quickly. But at peak times, I do find that it does work a little bit slowly. But you know, $100 a month versus free, I think the users can tough it out a little bit more and search for the properties with that one until they come out with a better one, or until Diverse Solutions drops their price and gives you both of them at least for $50 a month. You know, that'd be a pretty decent bargain. But having both for $100 a month is just, I think, too expensive for what it is. I find much more use spending that money on mailers or something else per month versus just throwing it away on a search tool. So real quick, this is the site options again. Since we got off topic a little bit, site options. Remember to click the plus button to expand your options. And your primary concern, all these will automatically be defaulted. You can leave those. They're okay the way they are. What you're going to be most concerned about is your navigation menu. You're going to want to select Thesis Nav Menu. Okay, you're going to take it away. You're not going to use the WordPress navigation menu. You're going to use Thesis. And then your pages. Now, as you start off, you're not going to have any pages built. Okay, but as you go along, you're going to be creating pages. You're going to be creating different articles, and this is where you're going to have the flexibility to be able to control it. Okay, so your contact us, your home search, blah blah blah. All these will be in this order, so you can change the way the order. It's drag and drop. Okay, so however you want your pages to be displayed, you just drag and drop it, and it'll change automatically on your website. Okay, so let me just I'll move back over here so you can see that. This is the page order up here. Okay, so you just drag and drop it, and it'll automatically change the way it looks. Okay. Minimize that. Okay, everyone go with that? Pretty self-explanatory, very easy to do. When you ask, I know you're going to ask, how do you get these drop-down menus? We'll get to that in a second. But you'll even adjust those the way they are displayed right here as well. Okay, even though they are drop-down. Your next is going to be your categories. Your categories are for your posts. Your pages is pages. They're not going to be classified by posts. So this might be a little confusing for you at first, but you'll get the hang of it as you dive more into WordPress. What you're going to have to do when you want these to display as links on your website, as a navigation menu up on top, or as a sub-navigation menu, you need to control-click each individual one that you want to be shown on the page. So I'll go back just to give you an example. Home seller is a category. Okay, I made it into a navigation link up on top, and all these are subcategories. Okay, so if I deselected it, it would disappear from the drop-down menu. Okay, so you need to make sure you select all of these that you want displayed. Now, some of them you don't want displayed. You're going to be creating certain splash pages, things like that, that you want hidden because you're directing a specific target to that. Okay, that's fine. But most of the stuff you'll be doing is going to be on a drop-down menu or up on top in a navigation menu. Okay. All the rest of the stuff you're not going to have to worry about. Just leave it as default. You're not going to have to worry about that. There's going to be one more tiny script that you'll have to do, and it's only already if you have Google Analytics. If you don't already have it, you're going to want to go to google.com/analytics, sign up for an account. It's free. It will give you this code that you're going to paste under this menu option, stats and software scripts. Okay, Google Analytics is free. It will track everything to do with your website, from how your visitors get there, what your #1 referral source is, how much time they're spending on your website, how many pages they're visiting for your website. All the analytical data that you need to know about your website, Google Analytics tracks it all for you, and it's absolutely free. Okay, you have to get it. You have to get it, because there's no point in marketing and making a website if you don't know how the performance of it's going to be. Okay, that's kind of like shooting in the dark. You don't know what you're going to hit. Okay, so what this will do is it'll allow you to be able to track, say you're marketing on Craigslist and you're putting up 50 different ads, and you have these 50 different ads all linking to a different page, and one specific ad works very well. Well, then if that one ad works very well, you're probably just going to want to use that one ad. Or if one page is working particularly well, you're probably going to want to direct all those ads to that specific page, and that's it, because you're getting more lead generation out of that specific page. Okay, so this is things that as you'll go, you'll start picking up, but you need to know in the beginning that you're going to have to do this. Okay, without being able to track this data, you're never going to know how good your website truly is. Okay, so this is pretty much it, I believe. One more part before we get into designing your pages is the header. Okay, so the header for your page is this part right here. Okay, now mine, I made it very fancy. There's a bunch of different links I can click on. There's animation, this and that. When you start off, you don't need all that, okay? Just make it very simple, something that when people hit your website, they can see what your website's about, and they can go on for more information, okay? But as you go along, you might want to develop something a little more custom, such as this. So back in the Keynote, so under Thesis, you'll click on Header Image, click on Choose File, and you'll click on Upload. Now remember, earlier we selected how big our website is going to be. So 600 plus 400 equals 1,000. So when you're talking to your designer to make this header image, you're going to tell them to make it to be about a little less than 1,000 pixels. I would say about 980 pixels wide, because you want to give yourself a little bit of cushion space just in case things get pushed out or anything like that. You want to give yourself a little bit of space, a little bit of breathing room, okay? Everyone good with that part? Very easy to do, okay, you guys? And like I said, this is just an example of what yours could look like if you wanted to, okay? Before we go on to the plugins part, anyone have questions with what was just displayed? Delete these. Any questions before we go on? I'll give you guys a couple of seconds to write any in there. Okay. Take that as a no. So we're going to jump back over to the presentation. Now, plugins are very crucial to your website. Think of plugins as apps for your iPhone or for your Droid or for your iPad. They allow you to do special things, okay, that doesn't already come built in your website. And they also allow an easier experience for your user. They allow easier editing for you. They're going to make your world a lot simpler with these with plugins. Now, I've already done the labor and tedious task of searching WordPress for all these different ones that you're going to want to use. And there's going to be a pretty large list of all the ones that are out there that I currently use right now, and I'm going to explain all of these, of what they actually do. Okay, so as I put these next slides up, have your pen and paper ready. You're going to want to write these down, okay, because these are the best plugins that are out there. You're going to need them for your website, okay. So here we go. So here's my laundry list of the must-have apps. So the way you'll access this is you'll be logged in. It'll say plugins. These are already the installed apps, so that's what I'm going to be looking at. But as you write these names down verbatim, you're going to click on Add New, or if you clicked on plugins, you'll click on Add New up on top. You're going to type that name into the search directory that pops up and look for it. Like I'm going to say most of these are free. A couple of these you will have to pay for, but actually I think only 2 you'll have to pay for if you want them. They're not necessary, but they will help with your signups and with your referral signups as well. Okay, so the first one is called Akismet, A-K-I-S-M-E-T. Now that sounds a little bit weird, but that will help your website avoid spam. Okay, with blogs, a lot of spammers are out there trying to post comments to your page with links going back to their website. It's called link building out in the search engine world. Google, Yahoo, and Bing love websites. The more websites you have linking back to you, the higher in the search results you're going to be found, okay? Because they're referring content to you. You must be a good source for this type of information. What Akismet does is it blocks these spammers, these bots that are out there trying to do this, okay? I probably had over 500 different spam comments already blocked automatically. I didn't have to do it myself. It was done automatically, okay? So there's a couple of steps that plugin will take you to do. It's very easy. It's like signing up, for Facebook. Put in your name, email, blah, 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 and it spits you out the code. Very easy to set up, okay? Backup Buddy. If you already have a website that's set up and you're thinking about transferring it from one server to the next, even if not, just to have a backup of your site is crucial. This is the best plugin that's out there. It does cost, I don't know off the top of my head how much it costs, but it makes a very nice, simple file that you can keep on your on your hard drive in case anything happens and all your information's gone. You'll have at least a backup to reinstate your website. Okay. Blueberry PowerPress. This is something you're probably not going to use, but I have it active on mine. I have this only because I am doing video podcast now through iTunes, and this allows me to publish it to iTunes in a little bit easier format and tracks the progress of it. So something you may not do, but if you are looking to expand your horizons and get a little bit more tech savvy and maybe put home buyer seminars up in iTunes where people can download it or anything like that, you want to get a little bit trickier, that'll be something that you want to pick up as well. Bump in real-time visitors. It's a little widget that allows interaction between your visitors in real time. A little cool thing. You don't necessarily have to have it, but just thought it'd be a little bit nicer thing for the visitors on my website. Your category order and taxonomy terms order. This will allow you to change the category order. Okay, so I'll just jump back to my website to give you an example. Say you're making links like this. Say I want home buyer first, home seller, foreclosure, and agent. These are all categories, okay, and I made them into links. With that plugin, it will allow you to change the way these orders are displayed. Okay, so if you wanted home seller first, you could put that in front of the home buyer, and so on. Okay, as well as with these drop-down menus. Agents is a big one for us, so I can change the order of the way these are presented. Okay, it's just look and feel for you. Otherwise, the way WordPress will automatically do it is it will publish it from oldest to most recent, okay, and stack it on top according that way. So you may not want to do it that way, especially with category orders and the way those are presented. You're going to want to probably change them. That's the plugin that you're going to want to install that will allow you to do that for you. That plugin is free, so you won't have to pay for that one. Bump in real-time visitors is free as well, and Akismet is free as well. Okay. Only these two are the ones that you are probably going to have to pay for if you do want them. Okay. And if you guys have any questions as well, just make sure to post them in the chat category box right there. Okay, I accidentally cut that again, but the next form you're going to want to get is called Contact Form 7. This allows you to create contact forms very easily, and it will automatically set up a autoresponder as well. So as soon as they fill out your contact form, they get an email, hey, thanks for contacting us, blah, blah, blah. You get an email, hey, this person signed up to your website requesting this type of information. Makes it very easy to do. You don't have to know any coding. It'll automatically give you the code. You just go ahead and drop it right into your post to your page of your website. And to let you see what it looks like is it will look just like this once you're all done. Okay? So your name, email, phone number, subject, the message, and there's the send button right there. So very easy. All you'll have to do is put a little tiny code in that it'll spit out for you. You just paste it in after you're done writing right there, and you're done. Okay? Discuss comment system. I haven't been that tech savvy with the way comments are done, and the best way to do it would be to create your own apps through Facebook and Twitter so you can get all this login information. But I haven't been able to figure out myself, and it's been very difficult to do it. The Discuss comment system is the easiest system out there to use. You simply sign up for it, install it, and then select what services you like to use. It allows people to log into your website via Facebook, via Twitter, via Google, or if they sign up for a Discuss comment system account, they can sign in with that account. And what will it allow them to do is it'll have this system right here. I'm already signed in, but they'll be allowed to share this on Facebook or Twitter. They can put an image and then post and everything like that. So it'll start to create engagement on your website. This is what I was talking about with creating a community. People can start to go to your website and say, hey, you know what, this was a great seminar. Thanks for coming out, or thanks for having this for me. Learned a lot about it. or your buyers can say, hey, you know what, I'd love to learn. This is some great information about first-time home buyers, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, start creating a little community on your website where people can comment, and you can comment back to them through your website. You don't have to necessarily call them on the phone. Okay, you can have a different type of engagement, which users out there are looking more for with the big wave of social media that's hit the industry in the past couple of years. And Google Analytics dashboard. This will give you a little quick insight to the analytics that your site's having as soon as you log into your website. Just a little nice little thing to see as soon as you're logging in, so you don't always have to go to Google Analytics to see what's going on. You can get a little snippet of it. Now, this isn't going to be a detailed dashboard, but it will be pretty decent. It'll give you some nice overview screenshots of how it's going to look. Another pack to get is Great Real Estate. There's a couple of different plugins that are actually installed in that one plugin, but it gives you, I believe, Yelp and Zillow and things like that that allow you to put live interest rates, Google Maps, things like that. Just some nice little features that you'll be able to put in your website. Jetpack, that's automatically installed by WordPress. Your keywords cloud for WordPress. I'll show you that really quickly. That's this one right here. Okay, this will publish on your website what the key terms were that people have found your website. So just say you get to your website and you want to see, our visitors are looking at what's being found in real time. They can click on that and go to the page that was found for that specific user in Google. So that specific page was a page on how to invite all friends on Facebook with a script. Okay, very simple, but nice little tool to have to be able to give to your users so that they can see what other users are looking for and maybe find related content. Okay, it's not something that you're just pushing yourself. It's what's being pushed through Google and through users in real time. Okay, list eruption. I'll show you this really quickly so you can get a feel for what it looks like. It's this plugin right here. What this does is, first of all, it looks good to create a sign-up form on your website. Okay, but what it will also do is it creates a referral system built into what they do. So say they sign up to your website. It'll send them an email, hey, you know what, thanks for signing up to our website. You're 5 referrals away from getting a $5 Starbucks gift card. So what this system does is it gives them a special link. With that special link, they can refer it out to their friends on Facebook, Twitter, email, whatever. Hey, you found this great website, you know, sign up for it, blah, blah, blah. And to them, if they get 5 people to sign up to your website, you'll get 5 new subscribers that are friends of them, and you just send them out a $5 Starbucks gift card. And you can keep these levels of prizes growing. So if you want to get really good with that, I think I have on there, if they subscribe, if they can get me 100 subscribers, I think I have on there, they get a free iPad. Okay? And it shows them all these different levels of prizes as they start referring people to them. So if you give away an iPad and you got 100 new subscribers to your website, you're looking pretty good. Okay, one of those people is going to buy a house from you or sell a house with you because it's 100 friends directly related to them. And on top of that, once you give out the iPad, how much better are you going to look to that specific client? Okay, it's going to work very well for you with this type of raffle system. I believe this plugin, just so you know, is $47, and it is called List Eruption. All you have to do is Google it, and it will pop up if you do decide to get that specific plugin. Next page is Mail From. Now, this is something that List Eruption will automatically tell you to go sign up and get. It's free, but what it does is it allows basically reverse prospecting. So when they sign up to your list, that List Eruption will keep sending them emails once a week or twice a month saying, hey, sign up to our web. Hey, you have 2 more referrals left away from getting that gift card. Sign up. Okay, it automatically does it for you. You just have to create the back-end work of setting up those emails to say that. Okay, but very, very easy to do. Your mortgage loan calculator. This is the widget. Make sure you spell it out exactly how it says it right here when you're searching for it. But this is the best one I found, and it really looks the best. Click on mortgage side real quick. you'll be able to pre-select all these different options. Purchase price, just say is $300,000. Your down payment is 3.5%. Your mortgage term is 30 years. Interest rate 5%. Blah blah blah, and it looks beautiful once you hit calculate. And it makes your website look very, very nice. Okay, so it will pop up and it will show them what they qualify for on a payment with that interest rate, with those taxes. Everything is already all included. It just looks really nice. Okay, so they'll be able to see everything about that loan and how much they qualify for. So why would you use this? So say they're looking at a house on your website that's for $350,000. They want to see how much the payment's going to be on it. They just type it in right there. Boom, it spits them out a number. Looks good. They're going to give you a call. Okay. So it looks really nice for your users. That's why I said plugins are tools for your users as well. One question. I like it. Thanks, Rafe. On to the next one is pop-up domination. Now, pop-up domination, this is another one that's going to cost. I believe when I bought it, it was at $47 as well. But since then I've gotten a new one, and it works much better. You can create multiple pop-ups. And I'll talk about it for a couple of minutes because I do find that this pop-up is extremely beneficial to your signups. Just to give you an example, I did a scripts class a few weeks back, and about 10 o'clock at night, I said, hey, anyone that signs up to my list right now will get these scripts. And they were home buyer scripts, a couple of home seller scripts, and in about 20 minutes, I had almost 20 people sign up to my website that quick. And it was really nice because they automatically sign up. I already had the email set up for the campaign, and at 9 o'clock the next morning it was going to be sent out. They got everything automatically, and it was a great way just to push one simple product really quickly. Say, hey, you know what? Sign up right now and you get this for free. Boom. Yeah, I got 20 people in less than 20 minutes. It was really nice. So I'll just show you really quick of what the pop-up will look like, how you can kind of use it. I find that this plugin is, like I said, very, very, very beneficial to signups, which is what you want. You want to build your email list. Okay. Right now, currently, we have an organic list of about 350 people now, and it keeps on growing. Okay. You want people on your email list. You know, you can't keep calling your database every single week. It's tough to do it. Email is a much easier way to stay in contact. You can create campaigns for the whole year and so on. I don't need to educate you on email, but it's very easy to be able to do it. So just to give you an example, this is a pop-up I have specific for agents. And the way that this pop-up works is after they are on a specific page for agents only, okay, this is only going to pop up if they're on an agent page. After 45 seconds, this is what's going to pop up. So they're reading about how to join the office, they're reading about a seminar we just had, this or that. After 45 seconds of them being on my website, this will pop up, okay? And you just create nice little things, you know, being a sharper edge in your marketing campaign, free access to upcoming seminars and webinars, recorded seminars, special email-only offers, stay in the loop and receive special invites, name, email address, sign up for our VIP club. Very simple, very easy to do, and it works extremely well. I've had a few hundred people sign up directly because of this form right here. Okay, so make sure that you guys, if you guys do have a little bit of money to spend, to go and pick this one up. This is a very, very, very beneficial one for your website. And I'll give you one more example of a different one. Like I said, this one's specifically for agents. And this one is for only one page, I believe. Oh, no, sorry, this is actually just for home buyers, I believe. And I'll show you what it looks like really quickly. And then I'm going to show you how you can really fine-tune this to work just for a specific niche. Okay, so this is, like I said, just for home buyers. So get a $15,000 rebate on your next home purchase. Who wouldn't want to sign up, right? Everyone can use an extra $15,000. Get an interest rate below 4%, easy to qualify. Then I say it again, kind of just throwing it out there. Could you use an extra $15,000? You want to make believe that they really need it, really need your service. Name, email address, get yours now. They're automatically signed up into your list. Okay, and I'll show you how these ones work. My display settings right here. Okay, so the way I had this set up, this will give you complete control. How this one is displayed is within 7 days, this will only be displayed to that one user one time. So if they log into with their one computer, hit your website, they click X on your pop-up, they're only going to see it once in those 7 days. That's probably the best way to do it, because even if they sign up, you don't want to keep displaying it to users that have already signed up. They're going to get annoyed with your website. So the best practice is going to be around 7 days for that pop-up to show again to your users. Okay. Next will be how many times must site pages be visited before the pop-up appears. I have it to 0 because you might not get that next opportunity. So you want to make sure that you can get them in the first try. Now, what should trigger the pop-up to display? Now, there's a couple of different options the way you want to do this. But for my home buyer, because primarily with the home buyers, I have it directing to a specific page. It's when the mouse leaves the browser viewport up toward the address bar. So what that means is when they go right here away from their browser, it will automatically say the pop-up will automatically pop up. Okay, pretty ingenious, because now it's prompting them before they leave your website, hey, sign up. These are the benefits that you could get before you leave. Okay, makes perfect sense for them. Okay. Another one is on website page load, and then you specify how many seconds you want it to take. So it's basically on a timer. So like I said, my agent one is on that timer. They're browsing around for information, this and that. That's when I want it to pop up. And now you can get really fancy with it. You can select which pages you want each pop-up to come up on. Okay. So as you go along with this, you'll start seeing, hey, I want it to show up on this, this, and this. You know, you're going to be the boss of your own content, but if it's a home buyer page, you're going to want a home buyer pop-up. If it's a bank repo page, you probably want a bank repo pop-up. So just play to the content that you're making, okay? So I just wanted to show you that. Hope you guys enjoyed that, because that's a really useful pop-up. If you have any questions, let me know, but that's a very, very, very good pop-up to use that I've been using for quite a few years now. The next one is called Shareaholic Email Bookmark and Share. What this does is, I'll go back to the website, is it puts these nice bookmarks down here for them to be able to share to Facebook, Twitter, email, blah, 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 to all these different websites. Okay, so you don't have to know any code. You just install a plugin and it's automatically done. Okay, so they can share your article. They'll be able to say, hey, you know what, that was a great article. Let me come over and share it on Facebook. Boom, it's done. They just type in their message. You're good to go, and you just went viral. Okay, very, very nice, and it attracts likes. You can put it on Google+. Very, very nice plugin to be able to use. Let's see here. Go back to here. Simple Real Estate Pack. I know we talked about another one that was called Great Real Estate Pack. You're also going to want to get Simple Real Estate Pack. Okay, has a couple of other very beneficial plugins that you're going to want to use. So make sure to get that one as well. It's very nice to have on your website. The next one is called the OpenHook Customizations Manager. This is a very useful plugin. Once you get a little more tech savvy with your website, it will allow you to customize your website with HTML. I know you guys are getting a little bit scared with that wording, but it's a very nice plugin to use. And if you have a web developer, they'll be able to take advantage of this. It's very easy to use. If you guys have any questions on this, you can hit me back up at a later date. I'll probably do an advanced class more on this type of content. But it basically, with like the way my banner is displayed, I'm using it through that OpenHook Customizations Manager. Okay. What's up, Stats? This is a little plugin that allows you to instantly see what your visitors are doing in real time. Very, very nice. So if you're advertising, just say you sent out an email campaign of 5,000 people. You can go to your website dashboard and see how many people are on your website in real time, where they're located at. So you can kind of see, you're kind of spying on your visitors basically about what's going on in real time, which is pretty cool. WordPress SEO, this is another post that I'll show you in a second once we start making pages, but will allow you to easily manage the search engine optimization results out of your on your backend client, basically. WP Instant Backup, this is actually a plugin I don't use anymore, so don't write that one down. And WP Hide Post, this is specific if you're going to be making posts that you don't want to appear on certain pages. That's what you use that for. So basically for your customized landing pages and so on. The next one, Yelp bar. Real quick, I'll show you what that one looks like. It's a little Yelp bar up here on top. We have 5 stars with 2 reviews. It's a very nice little thing to have so that other people can see your peer-to-peer recommendations. Okay. And your yet another related post plugin. I'll show you that one really quickly as well. When you go to a post, people are looking at it, they read it, blah, blah, blah. They'll come down. Related post, this is what it will show. Okay, and it'll show them basically related content based on what was written in this post compared to other posts, and it rates it. You know, this is the best one to the worst one. Okay, just gives them extra options to. You want more links in your website. You want them visiting more traffic on your website. Okay. Now on to the content area. Ask any questions you have right now before we get on to the post pages, because this is going to be where you write your pages, where you write your posts, the trickier stuff of the website. So go ahead and write that. I'm already going to dive right into it since we are getting short on time. So creating a post and creating a page. First, I'm going to start off with creating a post. This is more the blogging side of your website. Your post is going to appear on your home page. Okay, every single post that you do will appear right here on the middle of your page. Pages, on the other hand, will not. Pages are going to be these. Okay, they're just going to be specific pages. So you're going to know the difference. You might have to do some trial and error, but pages you will not see down here. Only posts. Okay, and posts are classified into your categories. Okay, that might be a little bit confusing, but you'll understand here in a second. So there's Pages tab, there's a Post tab. We're going to start off with Post just because that's pretty much the main one that you're going to be doing. So add a new post. Very easy to do. Up on top, it'll be a descriptive title for your page or your post. Okay, they both are going to look almost very identical. Okay, so your descriptive title. Say you're talking about a home buyer seminar. Be descriptive all the way down to the location. First time home buyer seminar in Downey, California. Put it like that. No commas, no dashes, only spaces. Okay. This way you get the most out of the search engine results. Okay. So Google will be able to classify it as, oh, there's a first time home buyer seminar in Downey, California. All that will be related to that one specific page. Okay. So be very specific with it. Next, it will automatically create a permalink for you, so you don't have to worry about that. And your permalink is just the link for that page. Then these are all your tools. If you notice, it looks very similar to how a Word document would look like. It's very simple, you guys. This is very, very, very simple to use. To do an image, you'll click on this little photo right here. You upload it, you save it, you select the size, you're done. It will automatically text wrap, so your picture will be here, and your content will flow like that. Okay? So just to give you an example, you upload a picture. You're always going to select medium size. It'll say that, and I'll show you a quick example of that right now. But this is a medium size setting, 300 pixels by 300 pixels. This is flush left with text wrap. So text is right next to the picture. It goes down and then flushes. So it looks really nice and uniform as you guys are making the post. As you guys are creating content, you need to make sure you specify this keyword phrase over and over and over again, and the keywords individually over and over and over again through your content. That way Google recognizes that, hey, this article is about free real estate classes forming, get your real estate license for free. So it knows real estate license, free real estate classes, get your real estate license for free. It's picking up all these different keywords, so when people are going into Google and typing in these keywords, I'll be found. Okay, so you have to be specific with this. You need to gear your website for search engines. That's why you're doing this stuff. Okay, you guys? So all your content will go in here. All right, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. I just lost my connection, but I'm back on. If you guys have any problems with anything, let me know. Sorry about that just happening right now, though. So here we go again. You'll be able to publish, categorize your posts. You can make new categories. You can make subcategories, okay? And these will all appear right here. Okay, these will be your categories. These are your subcategories, okay? Everyone go with this part? No one has questions? Okay. Now, post visibility, you're not going to have to worry about this too much, but just in case, that will allow you to have control of where if you want to hide it from the front page, hide it from categories, so on and so forth. And this is that WordPress plugin that was SEO Yoast. Focus keyword, the main point of your article. SEO title, all you'll have to do is click on Generate SEO Title. It'll automatically do it for you. Your meta description, put that title keyword down here, space, dash, space, and then put a small descriptive excerpt of about what that article is. Okay? And it'll give you a little grade score of how that's going to appear in Google. Most of them should all say yes, and it'll look really good for you. Let me just show you a quick example of that so you can see. So here's my article, agents, join the office, that's how it is. Okay, now going all the way down, my focus keyword's there, my SEO title's there, my meta description is here, and I'm missing it from the page title, which sometimes it does that, but it's already there, so I know I'm fine with that. And also the content, I know it's there as well, so sometimes it gets a little screwy, but this gives you a little grading score on how well it's going to be done. So let me see, I think that's pretty much it for the class. Let me jump back over to the webinar side of this thing. I hope I didn't lose everyone. Well, if you guys are still on there, let me know how the class was. If you guys have any questions right now, I'll leave it open for a couple of minutes before I shut it back down. Sorry for the inconvenience of how it dropped, but that's pretty much it for the class, you guys. So thank you everyone for coming out.